Yes.
Okay. नजरों को बदलो, नजारे बदल जाएंगे, अपनों को चाहो, सितारे बदल जाएंगे। जरूरत नहीं होती है कश्ती बदलने की, दिशाओं को बदलो, किनारे बदल जाएंगे। Good afternoon, everyone. On this fine day, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the national webinar on Unplug to Distress, organized by Women Development Cell and Internal Complaint Committee, Gujarat University. We mark the beginning of today's webinar with University Song.
वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन। गुजरात यूनिवर्सिटी आपणी, गुजरात यूनिवर्सिटी आपणी, विद्यातणु तपोवन। वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन। राष्ट्र चेतना, कला साधना, खेल भावना विकसे, विश्व मानवी बनी गुजराती, विश्व सकल माविल से। स्नेह संप सहकारनी साथे देती तू सन्मति, सौना साथ ने संगाते सौ सिद्ध करे उन्नति। प्रेम बंधुता समानताना पल पल प्रसरे स्पंदन। वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन, वंदन अभिनंदन।
माननीय डॉक्टर हिमांशु पंड्या सर, माननीय डॉक्टर जगदीश भाव सर, प्रो वाइस चांसलर सर of Gujarat University, Dr. Savita Gandhi, chairperson Women Development Cell and Internal Complaint Committee, and professor and head of the Department of Computer Science, Dr. Archana Makad ma'am, member secretary Women Development Cell and Internal Complaint Committee, professor and head of the Department of Botany, Bioinformatics and Climate Change Impacts Management, respected resource person of the day, Madam Pareen Somani, an accomplished academician, author, motivational speaker, and winner of many awards. To name a few, Bharat Ki Lakshmi Award, Best Motivational Speaker Award, She Inspires Award, and the Feelings Pride of India Award. Persons from media, respected faculty members of Gujarat University, invited guests, and my dear students. I, Maitri Javeri, on behalf of Women Development Cell and Internal Complaint Committee, Gujarat University, welcome you all to the national webinar of Unplug to Distress. Vakratund Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. With the choicest blessings from the Almighty on this virtual platform, I request Dr. Savita Gandhi ma'am to formally welcome our guests and speaker and introduce the webinar.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody, and namaste. And
Ma'am, you are muted. You need to unmute yourself. Madam, you are muted. You need to unmute yourself.
thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Namaste and warm welcome to all at this national webinar on Unplug to Distress. I, Dr. Savita Gandhi, Chairperson, Women Development Cell and Internal Complaint Committee, Gujarat University would like to express my sincere thanks to all who are participating in this webinar. We are very happy and proud to say that we have a thumping response to more than 600 registrations of different eminent personalities and scholars. We have with us today our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University, Dr. Himanshu Pandya, as President of the event. We find him as our friend, guide, and philosopher. Sir has always motivated us and is a strong pillar for different activities of Women Development Cell. He has been fundamental. He has been instrumental in bringing many laurels to the university. Under his leadership, Gujarat University has reached great heights. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and your support for organizing of different activities of Women Development Cell throughout the year. Sir, we look forward to hear your words of wisdom today during inaugural session. We are lucky to have amidst us our Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar, sir. He has actively translated our university vision in real-time execution. Thank you for making it, and I welcome from bottom of my heart to our Vice Chancellor as well as our Pro Vice Chancellor, sir. Being a part of Gujarat University, the Women Development Cell has been performing active role in women empowerment and women development. Throughout, with the multitude of activities, mentioning a few of them, workshops and seminars on legal awareness, women health issues, health and nutrition, finance, physical fitness, emotional fitness, mental and spiritual well-being, defense techniques, and different types of competitions, as well as fun-filled events. Doing so, we are able to address many of the environmental challenges faced by women. To help me, I have Dr. Archana Mankad as think tank and live wire executive, and so welcome to you, madam. It's necessary for me to thank our administrative and technical staff, Mr. Sagar Panchal from GUSEC, and Dr. Maitri, Jigna, Jinali, and team from the Department of Computer Science, without which this execution would not have been possible. We have with us our eminent speaker for today, a distinguished speaker, Madam Parin Somani. She is at London and would be giving her talk from there. List of prestigious awards and honors received by her is endless, and still she has ground to earth, charming, sweet personality. Parin madam is a great motivational speaker. I welcome you, ma'am, and I'm thankful to you for accepting the invitation. Eagerly we are waiting to hear all, and all others too, all the participants are too waiting to hear you. So once again, I welcome each and everyone at the webinar. Thank you.
We have with us today here our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, of Gujarat University, Dr. Himanshu Pandya, sir, an esteemed personality and a distinguished scientist. His efforts have resulted in Gujarat University to become the only state-aided university in the nation to have an Atal Incubation Center funded by Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, New Delhi. He has received a President's Award for National Service Scheme by Honorable President of India, Shri Ram Nath Kovind, on behalf of Gujarat University at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. He is also instrumental in establishing Technology Business Incubator.
Maitri, thank you. Maitri, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, you have so many things, so many achievements.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So am I supposed to speak, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you. I'm really sorry to, restrict any woman speaking. It's a big crime, and I am doing this. I sincerely apologize by doing this particular act, but you do understand that I really don't like what I work. It is for the university and for students and fraternity at large. At the outset, thank you very much for calling me on this particular occasion where we are talking of, stress. We all are living in this pandemic, and I don't know how it is there in London, where Miss, I think the speaker with us is from London, and we are here in India. So we all are facing this scary scenario across the globe due to this corona. But let me tell you, we are a species who never give up. Being human, it's a big thing, and people say it's the most intelligent creature on the earth. So we find the way out of every disorders. So with this, unplugging the distress, the title is really challenging. It depends on individual that how you are taking this particular event. But as far as the corona pandemic is concerned, I'm sure that each and every one of us have found the way of living the life differently what we used to live earlier. It has changed our perspectives. It has changed our thinking pattern. It has changed our way of life, way of understanding. Being a science student, I tell you, we have stopped working on so many things what we were used to earlier, and the whole scene is changed due to this one particular virus, and that's how people call it novel coronavirus. Earlier, it was there in different mode. SARS were there, then it was named again for MERS, again for the Middle East, and again now it's a novel coronavirus. It is not specific to any region, but it is causing problem to every region. What does it mean? It means only one sort of immunity this mankind is having. Nature always plays the diversity. Under this diversity, we all are diverse in nature. So only one sort of effect cannot damage us, cannot destroy us. But this is really scary. Scientific fraternity is thinking it in a different way, that we all are possessing the same kind of immunity, same kind of gene expressions, where one virus can kill or destroy the total human race. This is really scary. That means nature is failed somewhere in its distribution, in its diversity, and this feeling of diversification in particular expressions of gene would lead to a situation where we'll be having a different sort of understanding of lives. We are not sure whether we'll be wearing mask will restrict the virus. If we sanitize our hand continuously, it will again restrict the virus. We are doing all this. Even the cases are rising and resurgence is there. So everything is at stake and at a big question where people are not able to find any solution. So if you are living in such scenario, it's very difficult to call it a life even. So it's a scary life what we are living. Every day we are coming across something new, and even the authorities and the agencies, those who are able to decide and they are authorized to speak something about this, they are not sure what they are framing in terms of rules and regulations. In this scenario, if WDC is coming up with the title Unplug Distress, this is really need of a time. Because when you don't find way, when nature is trying to teach you something and we are not able to listen that sound, at that particular time, if somebody gives you orientation, some sort of understanding that this is how we can live life, like we have a resource person today, Miss Shirin with us from London. She'll be sharing her ideas of life and her ideas of how to overcome the distress and how to live the joyful and cheerful life. Whatever the text references we follow, we always find something is written there. Be happy, don't worry, live life king size, cherish each and every moment. Whenever we read sort of context, we like it, we love it. But when it comes to the practice, it is very difficult. Why it is difficult? Because the understanding of that particular caption is not reaching to your heart. So whatever you understand with the brain. You don't apply brain with your heart. That will give you a positive understanding and positive listening. We try to criticize the surrounding. We try to give our comments to each and everything. I think I'm not expert to talk on this, but few things I know that how we can be easy in our life. We have a lot of understanding about our subject, understanding about our life, understanding about the religious practices, understanding about the virtues and healthy behavior and whatnot. So basically, we are overburdened by all this understanding. To me, there is only one way to live a sustainable life, to a healthy life. It is don't follow others. People say if you eat aloe vera, you will have a skin which is glorifying and you have good health and this and that. We spend millions and millions of dollars for beautification and nurturing ourselves from external sources. But if you can feed yourself from within, if you can feed your own soul with positive idealism and progressive thoughts, I think we'll be the happiest person on this earth. You just imagine any animal except humans. They have their own means to be happy. They never mimic, they never copy others. So they live their own life. And today we are living a life, whatever newspapers are talking to us, whatever channels are talking to us, what the literature and references are talking to us. So we hardly follow our own self, our own heart and understanding while living our own life. There is an inner voice every time. It says that this is what is suitable for you, but we never hear that inner voice, that what is good for me. We always hear noisy atmosphere around us, that this is good for the health, this is good for the skin, this is good for the hair, and this is good for the heart and whatnot. So every month, every week, we are changing our schedule and we are changing our lifestyle. And that is causing problem to the humans, because it's a borrowed life what we are living today. My humble request to you all, it's very difficult to listen to your own voice, but try to live your own life. Don't be dependent on others' thought. Don't be influenced by others' ideology, because we all are diverse and nature has produced us as a different entity, individual entity, and we need to respect nature by understanding our own self. And if we can understand our own self, we can easily distress anything, and we can easily overcome any sort of disorders or happenings around us. And I don't want to preach you. I'm not eligible for this, but this is what I understand, and this is what I try to live. This I'm sharing just with you. Just listen to yourself and try to be yourself. That is the only way to distress your life. We have to listen so much things from his hearing, and I'm not taking much time. Just a small conversation what I made to you. Thank you so much for calling me here, and I'll be always there for any sort of small conversation like this. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is always pleasure to hear from you. We always learn new things after hearing you. Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Archana Makad ma'am to give vote of thanks. After that, we shall begin with the talk.
Madam, you need to unmute yourself.
once again. Okay. Now I'm audible. Thank you, Maitri. Respected dignitaries, as Member Secretary of WDC and ICC, I take this opportunity to present the formal vote of thanks. At the outset, we thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Himanshu Pandya, for always encouraging and motivating us. Thank you, sir, for guiding us and helping us in all our endeavors. We thank our Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar, for his support and motivation. We also thank our Registrar, Dr. P.M. Patel, for his timely help and support. This program has been possible because of total involvement of Savita ma'am, and we thank her heartily. We also thank Pareen ma'am for sparing her valuable time for our participants. We thank all the participants for their active interest in today's program. I thank Dr. Maitri Javeri for anchoring this event so gracefully. Such online events need a whole lot of technical support, and I thank Dr. Agarwal, Director, Rolwala Computer Center, Mr. Sagar Panchal from GeoSec, and Ms. Jigna and Ms. Janali from Department of Computer Science for their timely help and technical support. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to introduce our speaker of the day, Madam Pareen Somani. Pareen Somani is an accomplished academician and motivational speaker with over 31 years of professional experience. Madam Pareen Somani has been a TV presenter at Ahmedabad Doordarshan, a radio presenter at All India Radio, author of multiple recipe books, and a freelance journalist in Western Times, Gujarat Samachar, and Sandesh. As an ACCA with years of experience with Lloyds Bank, she is working as a banker. However, possibly the most defining aspect about Pareen is her desire to inspire others. She dedicates her life to serving humanity and making the world a better place, as can be seen in 2020 when she featured in Beauty and the Best magazine as the unsung fighter COVID-19. She believes that through understanding both East and West, we can help build bridges between communities through integration to promote peace and harmony. She received the Apravasi Bharatiya Hindi Sevi Sanman Award and International Diaspora Award in 2019. This year, she received Best Motivational Speaker Award 2020. For her contribution to society, she has been recognized as the inspiring Bharat Ki Lakshmi and featured in a Prime Media Communication Coffee Table book, July 2020. Pareen has received the She Inspires Award 2020 at the House of Parliament, England. Pareen is a keen cook. To date, she has published 11 cookery books and currently she is in the process of writing another. This time, she has chosen to write a whole food, plant-based Indian cookery book in collaboration with her daughters. She has an unending list of achievements, difficult to quote in a less amount of time. Instead, let us hear from her. May I now request Madam Pareen to take over the stage for the talk.
So I guess Pareen ma'am is having a bit of an issue with the connection. She just messaged, but we are waiting. You could just send her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's trying to join.
Yeah. So I think we'll have to
trying
wait.
to join.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, she has joined.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm so
thanks.
sorry. Don't know what happened, but I'm back now. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, madam, it's your talk now.
So everybody has left the studio?
No, we are all here. Don't worry.
I can't even see everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We are there.
Will you allow me to share the PPT?
Yeah, please. We are waiting, ma'am.
Okay.
I've shared.
Great.
Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Archana Mankan, Secretary of WDC and ICC, for your kind introduction, and Dr. Javethri for introducing me as well, and Dr. Gandhi as well. So too many people have introduced me. Thank you for having me here. I would like to say a big thank you to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Himanshu Pandya, um, and a Professor Pro Chancellor Dr. Jagdish Bhavsar, and all the delegates and all the dignitaries and all the organizing team and all the delegates who have joined me in this national webinar. Today, we will be discussing how to unplug, to de-stress, an initiative to manage stress during this pandemic time. So before I start, what I would like everybody to do, sit comfortably or stand straight. Put your hand on your heart. Put your one hand on your heart and other hand below your belly button. Or you can put both of your hands and rest on your legs. Make your shoulder nice and relaxed. Be comfortable as much as you can. If you're comfortable, then please close your eyes. I want you to concentrate just on your breathing. Nice and naturally. Think about the moment you're experiencing right now. Forget the past. It has gone. Do not worry about the future because it is an illusion. Just concentrate on now and here. Because you are concentrating on your breathing. Now, gently open your eyes. Welcome back to the new world. Today, we are going to talk about stress. What is mental health? How can we unplug to de-stress in our day-to-day life? We will then seek to understand what is stress. What is the impact of stress level, pressures of life today that makes you feel stressed, and in a different ways in which we manage our stress, and how can we improve our mental well-being. So let's start. What is mental health? It is a simple definition I'm going to talk about, and it's a very simply said. According to the World Health Organization, a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. It is not my definition, but this is a definition given by the World Health Organization. It is not just about something who has a mental disorder or disability. It is all about looking after your own happiness and wellness. To a certain extent, every individual is at some risk of developing a mental disorder despite gender, age, ethnicity. It can be defined as a person's condition with regard to the psychological and emotional well-being. So, it is refers to cognitive, emotional, behavioral well-being of an individual. It refers to how we think, how we behave, and how we feel. We all have the mental health, because the way we think, because the way we behave, and the way we feel are the factor that are part of our day-to-day lives within relationships in the family or friends. If we look after our mental health, we will be able to enjoy our life. But we need to create a balance between our daily activities and responsibilities. There are many mental health disorders, including anxiety disorder, schizophrenic disorder, and a mood disorder. They are very well complex area which we will not delve into today, but it is important to identify early signs of mental illness. According to the medical research, there is no physical test can reliably indicate if a person has developed a mental illness. However, the following are some signs to help identify potentially mental health issues. If an individual withdraws from family and colleagues, avoid activities they would usually love to do, and they usually does not eat very well. By this means, I mean to say, if they're eating too much or not eating enough, does not help, or does not sleep well, or too little, constantly having low energy, displaying negative emotions, feeling unhappiness or feeling hopeless, being confused, altering mood swings, having difficulties completing simple daily tasks, thinking about harming themselves, hearing voices, experiencing delusions. There are many treatments option available for the people experiencing the symptoms, and I would advise them to seek medical advice. They will possibly be given the option of psychotherapy, medication, and also be provided with the self-help techniques. What is stress? Stress is described as a sense of being overwhelmed, worried, destruction, pressurized, exhaustions, or lethargic. These are all the signs makes you feel worried. Therefore, stress can influence people in every day, every age, gender, race, and situation, and can result in both physical and psychological health. So it is an exclusive relationship between a person and their surrounding environment, which is very important, which they perceive as taxing or has gone far beyond their coping resources and can be threaten their health. Although there are many definitions, and the simplest is that stress is an influence of internal and or a surrounding environment on a human, which disrupt its homeostasis. It is something that can be experienced by us as an educator and by our learners. Everybody at some point will have experienced some degree of stress in psychological science. If you look at it in a psychological science, stress is a feeling of mental pressure and tension. It can be external, relating to the environment factor, or it can caused by internal perceptions of an individual. It can be classified according to the student's nature. For example, psychological nature or a psychological thinking of a person. It influence can be a positive or negative attitude, or the amount of time or the learner is exposed to stress. Mental stress is a form of stress that occurs because of events in our own environment. It can result in psychological experience of distress and anxiety. Mental stress is usually accompanied by psychological response. In our every lives, we have probably said, I feel so stressed. I feel really stressed out today. Yes, that's okay when we say that. What do you exactly mean about it? So sometimes we may not even find it easy to express our stress, means despite the definition that I have just given you right now. I would prefer to define stress as a situation or a circumstance that puts pressure on us. For example, if we feel we have far too much to do, we are thinking about too many things, and if we feel that we do not have control over the events that are happening, a little bit like this within this pandemic. Think about it little bit more about like within this pandemic, we do not have control over decisions that the government is making right now, whether it's the government in United Kingdom or whether it's in India or anywhere in the world, because there is no control on anything at the present situation, and that puts pressure on us and we feel stressed. So we have no control over the people's behavior, especially when we are spending so much more time within our home due to social distancing. Mental stress is our reaction to the feeling of pressure that we are experiencing. They are the feelings that we get when we are too much is expected from us or by others or ourselves, and coping becomes very difficult. We may feel that we are overwhelmed. The impact of the stress level. So let's look at it. What are the levels that we feel that way? So stress can have many influences on performance and activities on educator and students. There can be positive and negative stress. So let's look at the positive stress right now. Low level of stress can be useful and healthy in order to achieve the particular goal. So when I say to you, or when you say to your friends or your colleagues, today I'm very stressed. But that's okay to feel that way, because sometimes that stress will help us to achieve our goal. So in a positive form, it has proven to improve biopsychologic social health and facilitate our performance. It is considered as an important factor to motivate individuals. It can help people to adapt a situation, and that can as a result of a reaction to the surrounding environment. Now let's look at the negative stress. High level of stress can result in biological, psychological, and a social problem, which can lead us to serious illness. When stress is caused by internal perceptions of a student or within ourselves as an educator, it can produce anxiety, negative emotions, and feelings. This can lead to stress, pain, and sadness. If it persists, it can lead to the serious psychological disorder such as post-traumatic stress. It is important to recognize signs of burning out as it happens very gradually. I have got 5 stages to go through with you. Number 1, the honeymoon period. Number 2, lack of energy. Number 3, initiations of chronic signs of being out. Number 4, crisis. Could be any crisis. Right now we are going through a global pandemic crisis. Number 5, reaching a stalemate respectively. So therefore, it is important to be aware of all these elements and look after ourselves. Stress and anxiety cannot be separated, as anxiety is a warning sign which alerts an individuals that danger is coming. Let's look at the danger is coming. So that's a warning sign. And that an individual should prepare themselves to cope with the danger. However, mild level of anxiety are important for survival and protect us from threatening danger. It is a subjective feeling which can occur without any external factor, while the initiations of stress need to be an external factor. The main stress in relationship, the main stress in relation with friends, family, or to studying or teaching in a university is the response to tasks that are beyond our knowledge, capabilities, and challenges our abilities. The amount of stress individual experience can be presented in different ways. For example, it may include more working hours, less holidays, a lack of support withdrawal. Right now, everybody are forced to go to university. I've been listening to the people over the phone, over the messages, that we don't feel comfortable. We are worried that when we go to university, when we are working, we feel unsafe because we don't know whether we may get this coronavirus. So when I'm talking to them personally and one-to-one, I tell them, if you have a positive way of thinking, then nothing is going to touch you. I'm a victim of coronavirus myself. I have gone through, but my thinking was very positive. I never thought, and I had underlining other history as well of my health, but still I took it in a positive. So depends how you take into your life. The amount of work that has been accomplished in a short space of time and the work-life balance. So our body, mind, emotions, and behavior reflect the stress we are feeling. For example, our body may feel that I have got headache, I'm breathless, I'm fatigued, etc. Our mind may feel worried, negative, hasty decisions, etc. We may feel irritable, a loss of confidence, and our behavior may become more accidental prone. Restlessness or insomnia, that we are not able to have a proper sleep. You can see others on the slide. Now, currently, the global pandemic situation, we have all found ourselves adhering to government guidelines through self-isolating or isolating with members of the family and staying safe at home. Although the world is having a phased reopening with school, going back to school, and people going back to work. We have entered a new normal society. We are still socially distancing and wearing a face mask, gloves when we go out. This is difficult for us because we as a human being are creatures of habits and we do not like change. The way in which we communicate has altered. We must adapt to these changes, otherwise we will be left behind in many aspects in our lives. We forget that even the surface of the earth at the equator moves at the speeds of 460 meters per second or approximately 1000 miles per hour. So we too must adapt to change. But sometimes we feel little bit lazy and less motivated than we did before the global pandemic, because we have got used to the way we have been living over the last 5 to 6 months. We must find ways to unplug, to distress, and our own ways of managing stress and share what has worked for us with others. This is the way, and this is because we are all in this together. I'm sure we all agree. We all are working together. We all are in this pandemic together. And I'm very sure that we will all come out beautifully with a lot of strength than we had it before. So now let's look at what are the pressures of life and potential cause of stresses, what we all are facing at the present. So there are many factors within our lives that can affect our mental health and stimulate stress. They can include social pressures and economic pressures. That includes social affiliation, financial circumstances, lifestyle choices, and biological factor. So, stress can usually be triggered by situations that are occurring within our lives. Obviously, this pandemic has brought a time of uncertainty, which can be promoted stressful situation. So, other stressful causes can involve experiencing a lot of pressure, not having any control or having little control about the result of a situation. When we face challenges, when we have responsibilities, and when we are finding it difficult to cope, it is when we are worrying about something too much. But also, if we do not have enough work or enough activities to keep ourselves occupied. So, in this situation, it's a piece of advice which I have experienced. The more occupied you are, the more busy you are, the more involvement you are doing, the activities what you enjoy. You will forget about what's happening around your surrounding or around in your life. It is not necessary that only one big thing causes us to experience stress. It can be a pile of small pressure in the life. When this happens, it may be difficult for us ourselves to identify the cause of stress or rely how we are feeling or what are our feelings to other people. But remember, like a car tire, simple example. Car tire, we run perfectly, the car will run perfectly with the correct pressure. Do we all agree? Yes, we can deflate if the pressure deflate and not enough pressure, then what will happen? The car is going to be wobbly and not stable. How much we try, still the car will not run smoothly. However, too much pressure causes stress, which can make us unstable and burst. Another way of thinking, although we have spoken about different situations that can cause us stress, according to Mind, the mental health charity, they says that the amount of stress we feel in a different situation may depend on many factors, such as your perceptions of the situation. This might connect to past experience, which has triggered the way you react to this new situation. Your self esteem and how your thought processes work. So, for example, do you look at the situation in a positive manner or a negative? It is depend on how experienced you are dealing with that situation, your emotional resilience. So, for example, your ability to bounce back and your ability to adapt to change in difficult situation, but at the same time maintaining your stable mental well-being, the amount of other pressure on you at the same time and the amount of support that you were receiving from family and friends. We are all very different people. Therefore, a situation may not cause you stress, might actually be the cause of stress to somebody else. So let's look at the example. If one individual enjoys singing in a public, as they enjoy it and they feel confident. Another individual may not like the attention or may not have the confidence to perform in public. Therefore, they feel very stressed. There are many situations that can cause stress. For example, personal reason like an illness or an injury, a bereavement, health problem, organizing a big event, group events, or even a task around the house. Other cause of stress can be also related to family and friends relationships. For example, if an individual is experiencing a divorce or breaking up from a relationship, difficult or complex relationship with immediate or extended family, organizing a wedding or a civil partnership, or even being a carer for family or friends requiring support. We may experience stress during our employment or studying. For example, if you have exams and a deadline to work towards, if you are unemployed for a longer period of time, if you have lost your job, if there are challenging situations at work, which everybody are facing right now. I'm facing myself too. So we all are in the same boat. We all are going to swim together and we are going to come out as a resilient. And how much pressure is put on that person to perform at work. The type of occupation that somebody has, or if an individual is retiring or even starting a new job. Financial constraints during death and poverty. Also, the quality of housing, like living in a poor condition or lack of security, moving house, or problem with neighbors. People can often feel stressed when they build walls. Remember, don't build a wall. Instead of that, build the bridges. Build the bridges that enhances the feeling rather than finding the right solution. This can lead to isolation from family and friends, causing a further stressful feeling. So now that we know so much about the stress, how can we manage our stress and improve our mental health? We can all start by helping ourselves to make necessary changes to make ourselves happy. So, first and foremost, I think this is by staying happy. And I'm sure everybody will agree to me. I want you to think about a time. Close your eyes for a moment and think about a time in your life when you felt the most happiest you have ever been in your life. Your most happiest memory. Think about how you are feeling. Who was with you? What you were doing? What day of the week it was and what time it was. I want you to write this detail on a piece of paper. I know I can think of my time. I was extremely happy. But the main thing I remember is that feeling of being happy, the fulfillment in my heart, the lightness that I felt during that moment, all those minutes, because happiness is a state of being or showing pleasure or contentment. It is a state, not a trait, and it is changeable. So, we will find that we are happy for some time and then our feelings are changed. We always have a choice. How do we wish to live? Do we wish to live in happiness or do we wish to live in pain and sorrow or despair? Nobody is going to force us sadness upon us, or nobody and nothing is going to make us happy. It is very difficult to find to be happy. I understand. But we should be thankful for everything we have, because when we are thankful, there is no other thought or feelings that comes to us. By being thankful, We fill our hearts with happiness. Our minds feel content and satisfied. In the moment of sincere and grief and a very deep gratitude, we feel that whatever we have is enough, and ourselves, we are enough. So think about it. Okay, whatever we have is enough, and we ourselves are enough. In that moment, we do not want anything and do not desire anything. We feel peace and happy. Whenever we feel sad, sorrow, or discontent, then remember a simple exercise. Stop for a moment. Take a breath and be thankful for everything that we have. We should appreciate the breath that we have just taken. Be thankful for the life and power behind that breath. Give thanks and choose happiness. We should aim to be active, although exercise will not make our stresses disappear. However, it has the ability to minimize some of our emotional intensity that we feel. It helps us to clear our thoughts and deal with our problem in a calm way manner. I don't know how much you feel that you have taken couple of breath and couple of exercise. How do you feel? Do you feel calmer? Are you happy? Do you feel good? We should stay calm and take control of situation, because to every problem there is a solution. If we think we can do something and believe in ourselves, and surely we will find a solution. This is in itself is an act of empowerment, and this self-belief will result in the solution that we believe in. We should aim to hold realistic view of our strength, weakness with acceptance towards any of our flaws. This will help us to feel less stressed, as we do not create unrealistic expectation of ourselves. But we should aim to constantly self-improve. We need to understand, and we cannot please everybody. So do not try that. We can only please certain extent. We try our best. We do the things, we should do the things that makes us happy. You are the pioneer. You are the main person in your life. You should be grateful for each other. You should be grateful for each day and whatever health we have. We can all learn from our experiences, but we should not dwell on the past or worry about the future. But we should be in the present moment. We should live in the present in everything that we do. We should start by being thankful, then proceed on our journey with happiness to reach our goal, whatever they may be. I understand that developing a new positive habit can be very difficult, because as human beings, as I told you before, we are creature of habits and we do not like change. But we must adapt to the changing life with a positive mindset. We must be motivated to unplug, to distress, and attach ourselves from the activities that are causing us stress and they are stopping us to enjoy our life. So, do you know that on average it takes more than 2 months before a new behavior becomes automatic? 66 days to be exactly. The time to form a new habit can vary depending on a person's behavior and the circumstances. Therefore, it can also take this long for us to lose or gain our motivation to do the things that we used to like doing. So, what is motivation? Motivation can be described as a reason or a reason of for acting or behaving in a particular way. In this context, we are associating motivation with this with positive behaviors towards self growth to help us during this global pandemic. We can view it as a process that initiates, guide, and maintain our behavior towards our goal. We do require a large element of self motivation to unplug ourselves from cues of life. Like there are loads of cues happening in our life in day to day. This is the force that drives you to do things. It is the drive that pushes you to work towards your goal, to put effort into self development and achieve personal fulfillment. Therefore, it is a driven by intrinsic motivation, a kind of motivation that comes from sincerely wanting to achieve and desiring the inherent towards associated with. Self motivation can also be driven by extrinsic motivation, which is the drive to achieve, wanting the external rewards like money, power, status, or recognition. But usually, the intrinsic motivation is usually a drive that is more effective and fulfilling. It also helps to work on a personal resilience and adaptability to change. There are four components which I would like to share with you of motivation. Number one, achievement, drive, or the personal drive to achieve, improve, and meet certain standards. Number two, commitment to your own personal goals. Number three, initiative or the readiness to act on opportunities. So, when you get the opportunities, you should be ready. You should not wait for a second. Number four, optimism or the tendency to look ahead and preserve with the belief that you can reach your goal. Or if we are believing that we can do something, then we definitely can. Therefore, within this pandemic, we can do anything. And I'm sure we have tried so many different things which we never thought we can do it. Through being positive, you can create positive energy and express positive vibes through your attitude. It is always easy to look for a negative aspect of people, but you should forget the negativity and focus on the positive. Always see the best in the people. Welcome people in your environment with a warm smile. Spread the happiness and joy. But how can we do this? We can do this through our action, ethics, and behavior. Help people when they require your help. Be thoughtful and generous with your time, knowledge, and resources. Aim to be happy, light-hearted. See the funny side of a situation and practice gratitude. Remember, gratitude. Remember, be happy. Remember, try to be self-motivation. Individual enjoys being around people that makes them smile or laugh. It creates happy moments through which you can share positive energy. If someone is going through challenging times, then be supportive, empathetic, and sympathetic. They are enduring qualities that helps you to relate to the feelings and emotions of others. You will then be support system for others around you who can encourage and motivate others while believing in them, inspiring them to overcome their challenges in their personal or professional lives. But ensure you act with integrity. Remember, integrity, and treat others how you wanted to be treated. I saw a lot of humbleness in the Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Himanshu Pandya. The way he said, I felt, wow, such a big guy, but his humbleness that he didn't want anybody to praise about him. That is the way he has got a good skill to give an impression to other people. He has got lot of knowledge, and he has got lot of experience. However, the way he came out, I was touched. I said, wow, he has got lot in him, but he doesn't want anybody to be talking about him. That is his humbleness. That is his integrity. These skills improves your personality towards the other. And the most is your personality. Because if you are true to your word, and you will be admired, respected, and appreciated by others. Therefore, seek to be true and honest individuals. Understand the value of other people. Respect others and yourself. The big question is, how can we achieve to overcome stress? So, number one, I'm doing in a point so you will remember. Invest in experience and create memories, and compared to that of materialistic things. Number one, schedule a time each day to talk to a friend or loved ones. Number two, take a class to learn something new. Volunteer to deepen your sense of purpose. Number four, self-time or spend time with the people who look like your future than your past. Think positively. Stay around the positive people. Surround your groups with the positive and keep away from the negative people. Try to look for your good friends who are on a positive side. I know you have plenty of friends. We have got plenty of relations. We have plenty of colleagues. But remember, the time has changed. You want to be around and surround yourself with the positive. Try to stay away from the negative people around you. Obviously, being unable to see our friends, family as much as we would like, as we could have seen, but this disrupted. The time has very disrupted and it is very difficult. Therefore, we should find a new way to pass our time through the goals that we set. We may wish to trying something new, may help us to find a little joy in this time. We can do video calling or a Zoom call like we are doing right now. It is a wonderful way to see our friends' faces and catch up. You can even try hosting a virtual quiz with a group of friends. When we all have started using video calling first, it was very difficult and it was like a little daunting, which everybody would have experienced because we have not already done it before. But now we can see how simple and enjoyable it can be. If you are very sociable and generally enjoy going out and meeting new people, there are forums and chat rooms on a multimedia and a social media that you can explore with cautious. It is important for us to stay physically active to help us to distress through doing minimum of 20 minutes of exercise. Even if that means light breathing exercise or stretching to keep ourselves moving. If you are unsure what exercise you are allowed to do, please ask your doctor. Do not overexert yourself. We all have a limit. By staying active, we can improve our physical health, but it also helps us to lift our spirit. That's important in this time. Lift our spirit. There are plenty of ways to keep moving. Yoga is a wonderful way. Have a gentle stretch. It can also help you to relax. If you cannot do the floor yoga, then go for a chair yoga or a chair exercise. There are classes on Zoom or videos online for all the levels. Pilates, Tai Chi, and stretching can also help us to stay fit at home. This can help us to improve balance, flexibility, core strength, and overall mobility. Many instructional videos can be found online. Another option is joining a virtual class hosted by an area class studio or a senior center or some of the mandars. Strengthening training is an important, and we do not have to fit or to lift heavy weights at the gym as we used to do. We can do it at home while sitting and lying down. We only need a simple few exercise to get started. If you really want to do a weight, then you can have like a soup cans, like comes in a container to weight ourselves to do exercise. Only if you're allowed to do that. Many people love dancing, and if you do, then start dancing at home to keep fit and to distress yourself. It is known as a cardiovascular benefit. It is a fun and low impact way to exercise. Dancing also boosts our endurance during our days of social distancing. As an added benefit, listening to some favorite songs can encourage us to exercise our mind by going back in time and revisiting some fond memories, beautiful old songs, beautiful songs of Lata Mangeshkar or beautiful songs of Rafi. So this can also bring us the old memories back in your life. Ecotherapy is another way, a wonderful way to unplug from the stresses of the world around you. For all the nature lovers, spending time in a great outdoor is a therapeutic. Just going for a walk or visiting a garden. If you are lucky enough to have a garden, then do some gardening. Not only will it help you to be one with the nature, it is a great form of exercise too. If you do not have a garden or you do not wish to go outside for a walk, then you can do the gardening at home. You can try to plant something in a pot on your windowsill. When they grow, you will see greenery around the home. This has been proven to make you feel more relaxed. Some people even like to grow their own vegetables, own fruits in their house, in the garden. During this pandemic, we may have forgotten to pursue activities that we enjoy because we feel stressed about everything going around us. So now it is time to discover and to rediscover forgotten hobbies or even take up a new one. There are lots of different things you can do and enjoy in a comfortable of your own home. You can try new cooking recipes. Cooking is a great way to encourage yourself to eat well and pass the time. There are plenty of online cooking classes and cookery books. You can learn to cook dishes from around the world or find a perfect on your own recipes. You can experiment and bake some different baking stuff. You can learn new language because it is never too late to learn. In fact, science has shown that learning a new language is a great way to keep your brain healthy in a later life. Therefore, there are lots of different websites, apps, and videos that can help you. If you already know more than one language, you can refresh your knowledge on that language. You can see knowing one language is good, but remember, practicing it's even better. Some of us may know the arts, crafts, painting, drawing, coloring, working with clays or art textile like sewing. If these are the activities that we enjoy, then we feel happy, then please carry on. That will help you, make you feel happy and de-stress. That they are all the activities will make you good, feel good. These are the methods of helping our distracting and cognitive skills. Initially, we might find daunted by the thought of starting something new, but you don't have to be expert to be artistic talent. You can always use the YouTuber tutorial classes to get you started. For those that have enjoying reading, you will agree with me that there is nothing quite like curling yourself on a sofa with a book in your hand, with a good book which you can read. This is the best time without any distraction and lose ourselves in another world. You may want to ask your friend and family to get involved with you. You could ask them to for the recommendation of their favorite book. Even you could even select a book to read together and discuss as you go along. Another way is by doing a creative writing. It is good way to let your mind escape. We can write everything that we are feeling, including stressful situation you are encountering, in the form of poems, stories, or even keeping a diary. We can write about what we have learned our experiences. If we don't have, if you don't know how to get started, you can try writing a simple word on a scrap paper like sunshine, happiness, hope, surprise, or color, or any other words you feel connected. Then you can place them in a container, in a double. Yeah. Then every day you can pick one message note, one chitty out of the container and write something on that word. Like, I have found a word happiness, so then write about happiness. Writing can also be a helpful if we are feeling worried or stressed. We can write down all our concerns in a journal to help get them off our chest. Sometimes the stress that can indulge can be due to a lack of good good time management. The good thing is that time management is an attitude that we can adapt and learn. Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control over the amount of time allocated to specific activities, so as to increase efficiencies and productivity. So, how can we have a time management? Prioritize. Give a priority and divide your task. Create time logs on a regular basis. Focus on one thing at a time. Do not procrastinate. Review your progress and take a break. Make key tasks your habit. Maintain a healthy lifestyle and enjoy the work you are doing. Other ways you can keep your mind occupied. Manage the work pressure is to practice relaxation like mindfulness, meditation, to keep your mind calm and let go of your stress. Mental well being is one of the paramount importance. So, coping strategies and abilities to foresee problems can be taught and encouraged. This also increases a free time. So, how can we keep our work life balance? In everyday life, we are mixed up with stress in all aspects in our lives. Excellent factors may not appear as being stressful or threatening, yet our perceptions of a situation will interpret to them as such. Research has found that we experience stress or perceive issues as a threatening or a dangerous when we believe that we do not have adequate resource to cope with problems. For example, people, situations, or external stimulus. Technology has become an important component of our day to day life. Research suggests that 81% adults, even when they are in the bed, never turn their mobile off. And being on your mobile within an hour before going to bed means that you have lost almost 3 times as likely to get less than 5 hours less of your sleep. So, therefore, we should designate a time to turn off our electronics, because without realizing that we could be relying back to students' email and posts at midnight and early hours of the morning. This can have a heavy impact on our mental and emotional well-being, and also affect our energy level and family relationships. By sleeping extra, you will feel more effective as an educator, as well as feeling better. If we rely reply to all the emails first thing in the morning instead of the last thing at the night, it will be most likely to be higher quality. Evidence has shown, also suggested, by constantly checking your mobile phone can lead to forgetfulness and increase in stress and anxiety. Now, I don't have enough time to work on that, so I'm going to be quickly running through a few of my slides to ensure that you have a good network of the family and friends who will be a support system. So when you feel stressed, they will encourage you to view the situation in different ways. Therefore, video calling somebody or talk to a people, do activities that you enjoy, engage in hobbies that makes you feel good and happy, avoid unhealthy habits, help each other, realize that you cannot always change a situation, to concentrate on the aspect that you can. If you feel that you have too much to do, plan a day and split up your task into a smaller or a manageable parts. Like I said earlier, we as a human beings are a social animals who thrive to be with each other. If we are left on our own for too long, then we feel or we become ill. Therefore, we need to aim to get rid of stress or feelings of negativity and replace it with aiming to find happiness. It has worked for many people. I have tried to help in the past. Therefore, I am hopeful that it will also help you through this trying time. Within the history, the Buddhist monk said that the happiness and suffering are all within the mind. They are not external. So happiness is not external, found through objects or different people. It is internal. It is in the mind. Therefore, if the happiness and suffering are in the mind, then the cause of happiness and suffering also live within our mind. The ultimate difference between the people that are stressed and the people that are not is the way we see the world. We need to change our perspective on the world. If something goes wrong, then we should not think that because we are the failure. If we know that we have definitely tried our best, instead we analyze the approach that we took, or we look at the different ways of achieving our objectives and learning something new. There is a beautiful story of a mouse. We think of a maze in a little experimental mouse. Mouse is put into that maze where it needs to find a way out. You can see it's trying to way out. Even if the mouse come across a hurdle, it does come across a few in the maze. The mouse look for the alternative and avenues and tries something else. While as a human being, what we will do? We will go back to the same thing that we have always been doing and repeat the same mistake. So we should not be afraid of change. We should try and adopt the new change. We can all implement some stress management skills. We can start with a good sleeping habit. So you get the required amount of sleep. You need to keep yourself active. Eat healthy, balanced diet. Drink plenty of water. Manage your time as well as fit everything you would like to do in one day. Exercise regularly. Practice meditation, mindfulness. Do you remember which is what we did it at the beginning of the session today? Reduce the noise around you. For example, do not talk negative about other people or engage in a fruitless conversation. Aim to stay positive and see the best in everyone. See the goodness in everyone. Look at the good things in other people. So have a friendly social network. Also, do not overindulge in anything. So limit yourself from overuse of your time. Be mindful that stress does not have medical diagnosis. Unfortunately, there is no particular treatment for it. Some people find difficult in coping, and other people might find it in a different way. So some people find coping with life very difficult and are living with chronic stress. In this case, I would recommend you to speak to your doctors or the nurse who can advise you further through potential therapies, medication, acupuncture, or other invention. I feel that we should always aim to see the best in others and the situation. Turn negative view or a situation into positive by changing your own way of thinking. A key to being happier our lives is by making the decision to always assume. A key of being happier our lives is to make in a such a way the decision should be assumed that the people around us have a good intention. We should always understand they are operating to the best of their ability, and they means good for you, and there is no harm. When we decide to assume other people have good motives, we protect ourselves from the negative mindset. Remember, every cloud has a silver lining. All good things comes to those that wait and learn from situation. We cannot change the past, but we can build the future. I'm going to run through a slide. This is regarding the food chart, how the food and what are the food should be eaten. There is other slide because there's no enough time. So this is the other one which talks about how we should maintain and how we should have our everyday lifestyle. What are the foods we should be eating? I'm sure everybody is aware, but I would like to give you this three message, which is very important, which I would like to share with you. Yes, in this pandemic, when we want to achieve pure happiness, another way to unplug distress ourselves, yes, we all are going through a challenging situation as a result of this pandemic. We have been affected economically, socially, and personally, but now our world is slowly transforming. We are evolving into the new normal society where things as we know it may not be the same again. We must embrace this change together. We have the power within ourselves to facilitate good change in the world. I wanted to share three important messages which I feel will help our transformation. Number one, always be positive. Never fear change, because even night turns into a new day. With a positive mental attitude, we can create positive change. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Number two, seek the strength from inside yourself. Use this inner strength to create opportunities to build a better future through your resilience. Help other people. Background, ethnicity, social, political, caste, color, and religious lookouts do not matter. Remember, we all are one. We all have been through in this pandemic together, and we all are going to come out together stronger. Number three, respect each other. Seek to resolve differences through understanding diverse viewpoint. We all have a key role in society. We are all masters of our own destiny. This is our world. Remember, this is our world. Seek to be change you wish to create in the world. It is only by working together we can make a positive global change. In conclusion, I would like to say, take each day as it comes and work towards being stress free. A little bit of stress is good for all of us, as it creates a drive for us to complete our objective. As Buddha said beautifully, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, Anybody in the entire universe deserve your love and affection. So love yourself. Martin Luther King said, "Do not, you do not have to see the whole staircase. Do not have to see the whole staircase. Just look at the first step." So I will leave you by doing one simple exercise. So if wherever you're sitting, so please sit up straight and now inhale through your nose for 5 seconds. Exhale through your nose for 7 to 8 seconds. The longer you exhale, the calmer you feel. Inhale in the future without any expectation. Hold the present and exhale the past without any regret. And aim to lead a life without stress. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have enjoyed this session. Namaste.
So, thank you, ma'am.
Wow. That was so wonderful.
Thank you.
So energetic, so motivating. I am actually de-stressed. Actually.
Really? I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to request Savita Gandhi, ma'am, to please express her gratitude towards you.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Thank you, madam. It was a really very excellent talk, and you covered all the aspects of de-stress. I think for your talk, 1.5 hours was a very short. I mean, 1 hour. It was a very short time. In near future, whenever permits, I think we should have a quite long 1 day or 2 day workshop, and you can cover the different aspects you covered about de-stressing by exercising, by maintaining time, by gardening, by taking up one's hobby, by being motivational, and all other, by yoga, meditation, exercising. And it was really excellent, and I'm very, very sure that each and every one of us who have participated in your workshop has really gained, and they would be in a position to serve our objective, and that is de-stress each of us in this stressful situation. So thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you to everyone. Thank you, Bhavsar sir, for joining. Thank you sir, for joining and for your blessings. Thank you all my team, my Archana ma'am, Maitri, Jigna, Jinali, Jiusek, Registrar, and each and every one who have helped us in organizing this small webinar. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We can continue this session.
Thank you.
Bhavsar, कुछ आप 2 मिनट बोल दीजिए सर.
Congratulations to all. Good talk.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So we take our leave. We take the leave.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for participating in this webinar. Hope you all have learned how to de-stress yourself.
Thank
The
you.
link for e-certificates and feedback forms are available. That I think they have been shown on the, it's been there. Just can you please share your feedback over there? And as soon as the feedback is shared, the e-certificates will be dropped in your mailbox. Thank you very much. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
In future,